I'm a little upset just now. I've just turned the radio into a Radio 4 programme about Asperger's, and it's sort of saying the defining aspects are trouble with social interaction and obsessive interests, and if you don't meet those two criteria, you don't have it. And it makes me really upset on several levels. Firstly, because I don't meet those criteria, so I wouldn't have it on that basis. And secondly, the more that's propagated in sort of popular science and layman's terms, the more difficult it is for me to try and explain what my actual problems are when they're actually nothing like what the stereotype that somebody thinks of with that label. It makes the label utterly unuseful to me because it seems to almost describe someone who's the opposite of me. And I think they're missing all the stuff that's most important, the problems with language and the problems with information processing. And then all the stuff that's around it, like the dyspraxia and the sensory overloadedness and even the digestive stuff, all of that is really important. And I think all they've managed to do is pathologise what for a lot of people is fairly normal male behaviour. They're sort of pathologising a lot of people who are actually quite ordinary but happen to be not as empathetic as their wives want them to be. And then by the same token, they're completely excluding people like me who have, fairly serious problems that don't quite fit into their criterion. And I have no idea. I feel like, I have some of the answers, but I have no idea who to talk to or who has influence, who would listen to me. And I just kind of despair at the moment. I wish I hadn't heard that stupid programme. I think it's much more to do with extreme introversion, and I mean that in a very scientific sense, in that you're having a sort of massively oversensitive physiology and a need to cut down your environmental stimulation a lot, and much less to do with empathy, particularly emotional empathy, than they perceive. I don't know how to explain. They're sort of creating a circular diagnosis, that favours certain symptoms over others, and then that becomes circular because the people that fit that become the people they study, and then it kind of reinforces, and so you go on. And actually it's false, because they're sort of including a bunch of people who basically don't need to be included, and they're excluding a bunch of people who do need to be included. The whole weighting of the diagnostic criterion is the problem, which then leads to the wrong theories in research and wrong direction of research. God, I just want to cry at the moment. People like me, it's like we don't exist in the way in which we are. We're not allowed to exist. What I am isn't a thing, apparently.